Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have another pen here from Mr. Cypress in Taiwan. As you can see, Mr. Cypress, excellent handmade fountain pens from Mr. Cypress, Taiwan. So I think let's do an unboxing and review of this pen. So it comes in this outer cardboard box. I do think the packaging is really nice from Mr. Cypress. The outer box is always bubble wrapped, and if I remove the lid here, you'll get more of this sort of foam here, and you also have everything inside here bubble wrapped as well. You do get a guarantee here card from Mr. Cypress. You have the wooden box, which is a bamboo box, and then you have this sleeve here as well, which is really to hold the magnetic lid. Now, if I remove the sleeve, you'll see Cypress here, and it is a magnetic lid, so the lid could come off in transit, so they put that sleeve there, but it is pretty good. And if you remove the lid here, you'll see that there are two magnets here on the right, two on the left, and you also have two here, so there's four in total. And it will snap to close quite nicely. If I remove the lid, and you'll see here inside there is this pen pouch. Now this typically does come with inside a plastic tube, which is also bubble wrapped. But I decided I would remove that for this unboxing and review. Otherwise it might become a little bit too long. If I now try to remove the pen from this pen pouch, you'll see here this lovely pen. It is a Mr. Cypress Kawari-Nuri, and it's a Deep Light 3. And I have the Deep Light 1, which is a red here with a gold and then blue down here. So I wanted to get this in both colours. This was the one I really wanted. And I noticed that within a week, 4 were available. And typically, from what I've seen, Mr. Cypress will normally have 4 or 5 of each pen design. So 1 week they had 4, and then the next week they had 1 of each of these pens. So I decided, a little bit of FOMO kicked in, that I would go and buy these before they sold. So I did get the last ones. Typically, I've not seen Mr. Cypress remake the same pen. So there are normally 5 in each design. So this probably was the last pen. But this is a beautiful pen. And if I just twist this here, you'll see it's a beautiful Macchie Rawdon pen. It is a cigar shape or cylindrical as well. You don't really have anything on the cap finial or the blind cap, other than maybe some glitter there. But the red here that you'll see is quite nice. It's got a little bit of sparkle to it with the Rawdon or abalone strips. And then the gold here, I'd say it's more of a, it's not a glistening powder, this one. It's more of just a sort of almost a taupe or sort of brownish sort of colour there. But it is quite nice. And if I unscrew the cap, you'll see here it has a number 6 size Mr. Cypress medium nib. It's a 14 karat gold nib. And you can see in the sides of my hand, it's actually quite nice. It's got a slight concave section here. It is an ebonite made pen, but it does have a little bit of sort of sparkle to that section. If I unscrew the body here, you'll see here it's cartridge converter, ebonite here. So you could actually eyedropper the pen if you wanted to. But you can see it's actually a fairly decent size in my hand. I can post the cap. It's not going to post deeply, but it will post quite securely there. But it does make it quite long. I don't feel the need to post that cap. However, you can do if you so wish. But to me, it actually is long enough normally for me to not need or not want to post that cap. But this is quite a comfortable size, a cigar-shaped pen. There is a bit of a step down here, and the reason for that is that when the cap is flush with the body almost, you are going to see a bit of a step down on sections there. It doesn't bother me because the way I hold this, I'm holding it further down from the threads, so I don't get to feel that. But that's something to mention because I know some people do not really like large step downs on pens. But this really is quite a stunning pen. I do like this a lot. I think it will go quite nicely with my Pelikan M1000 Raden Starlight and Sunlight that I have. Although it's just a little bit shorter in length. So I think with that, let's do a size check, we'll do a weight check, we'll do a pen comparison, and then we'll do a writing sample. So the length of the pen, we are looking at about 142 millimeters in length. The length of the cap, we're looking at about 60 millimeters in length. The length of the body, we are looking to the tip of the nib or tip of the tines. We're looking at about 130 millimeters in length. So it's almost bordering on what I would class as being an oversized pen. Typically, I'm normally looking at the body to be around about 130, 132 millimeters in length. And I think let's go and do a weight check. Now this is inked up, but you saw that there wasn't a lot of ink there left in that converter. So the full weight of the pen, we're looking at just over 21.5 grams in weight. The weight of the cap, we are looking at just over, or just under, probably just over 5 grams in weight. And then the weight of the pen, we are looking at just over 16 grams in weight. So that is quite a light pen, but it feels really nice in the size of my hand, and you can see there that it is quite a beautiful pen there. So very glad that I was able to buy this and pick this up from Mr. Cypress. I think with that, let's go and do a comparison with other pens. So from left to right, we have a Tatcha Miyabi Winter's Breath, a Tatcha Miyabi Empress Winter's Breath. We have a Mr. Cypress Eggshell 06, a Mr. Cypress Eggshell 01, a Mr. Cypress Maple in the Woods, a Mr. Cypress, and this is the Kawari-Nuri Deep Light 3. We have a Tweeko Seishu Dragon in green, a Tweeko Seishu Dragon in red, a Danny Trio Chinkin, and we have a Danny Trio, and this is the Ancient Dragon. So I think now let's go and do a writing sample. So this is the Mr. Cypress, and it's the Kawari-Nuri Deep Light 3. And I bought this with a medium 14 karat gold nib. It does come with a steel nib, but I upgraded the nib. The ink in here today is KWZ, and it is Beef Eater Red, which is a UK pen show exclusive, more so London pen show exclusive. So you can only get it on the door as you pay to get in, or you could buy it typically at the show on some of the tables there. Now, in terms of line variation, I would say that this is a little bit more of a fine nib. If I push the nib a little bit more, I can definitely get a medium out of it. But I'd say that this is actually more of a fine writing nib, but you can see from the vertical lines there's no hard starts or skips there. There was just on that one there, but that was because I was getting to the end of the page. But the nib is pretty well tuned, I would say. Now, in terms of ink wetness, let's take a look. Now, it's not a super wet pen, but it's wet enough. I'd say that this would be a good writer in a notebook or journal, because you will be able to turn the page quite nicely and not have to wait several minutes for the ink to dry. Now, what do I like? What do I not like about the pen? Well, what do I like? Let's see. It's a Urushi pen. It's a Maki pen. It's a Rawdon pen. It's a Mr. Cypress pen, and I am liking Mr. Cypress pens more lately. So there's a lot going for it. I did upgrade the nib, so it's a 14 karat gold nib. The nib writes very nicely there. Does have a little bit of a feedback that you might have been able to hear on camera. A little bit more like a sailor nib. The nibs, the 14 karat and 18 karat gold Mr. Cypress nibs, I believe are made by Canwrite in India and stamped with Mr. Cypress logo on them, from what I've read anyway. But they do write fairly well out of the box. I do like every aspect of this pen. I do like Urushi, I do like Maki, I do like Rawdon. The only thing I would say is that in terms of dislikes is I would like the pen a little bit longer, around about 150 millimeters in length. It's a personal preference. I did buy this knowing full well that the pen was a shorter pen, but it's not as short as some of the Mr. Cypress pens at around 139 millimeters in length. So I think this is a nice middle ground. It feels very comfortable in the size of my hand. If I had the choice, if they had it in a 150 millimeter length, I would probably buy it in 150 millimeter. But that's just me. That's more of a personal preference than anything. But I do like this pen. I do like how it writes. It is a very nice Urushi Maki Rawdon, and I have been on a bit of a kick this last year with Urushi Maki Rawdon pens. So I'm glad that I was able to buy this pen myself and add it to my collection. So there you have it. That's my review of the Mr. Cypress Kawari-Nuri Deep Light 3 with a medium 14 karat gold nib. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.